Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the carnivore diet, all things related to the carnivore diet, and a few other miscellaneous odds and ends. Today we're going to talk about supplements. If you're new here to the channel, I want to say welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. I hope you get something out of this. If you're not new and then you're coming back again, thank you as well. I'm always happy to see people coming back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, I do try to find some interesting things to talk about. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes not so much. But the primary purpose of my videos is to show you that it's never too late to make progress, whether it be a little bit or a lot. For me, I've had quite a bit of progress. Almost 7 months ago now, I could barely stand up for more than 2.5 minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking every day and I'm down 117 pounds. So you can see it for yourself. But yeah, that's what the channel's basically all about. Like I said, I try to find something interesting to talk about. And today we're going to talk about supplements. But first, I had a pretty interesting morning. It's almost 1 in the afternoon now, so I'm way behind schedule. But it has been pouring all day. I get up. Hang on just a second. He's making noise, fueling, taking the buses down to get them fueled up. But I get up. I had my alarm set for 5:30. I only snoozed once. I already had everything loaded in the truck last night. But I went into the laundromat this morning and got all my laundry done. Because I knew it was going to start to storm. And I wanted to get back to the house before it started to storm. And it worked out okay. I was just starting to sprinkle when I got my bag full of clean clothes into the trailer. So that went okay. Once I figured it out, I tried a new laundromat today because the one I'd been going to in Mount Olive, 3/4 of the machines were always broken. So, you had everybody standing around waiting for the 4 or 5 working washers and the 3 or 4 working dryers. I spent the extra gas and went into Goldsboro. I forget the name of it. It was like Washtown or Wash World or something, but it was all a nice big state-of-the-art facility. And of course, because they just opened, I was the only one there. Luckily, another customer came in to help me out because, there were no money slots on the machines. It said insert card here. So I, of course, was inserting my card and nothing was happening. And I walked over and asked the nice lady if she knew why my card wasn't working. She said, "Oh, you have to buy a machine card out of this machine over here," which I hadn't even seen. It was all the way over in the corner. So you had to get a card and then put money on the card and then use that card in the machines. Now that I know how to make it go, it won't be nearly as complicated next time, but I must have spent 15 or 20 frustrating minutes trying to figure out what the heck was going on. But anyway, I'm not going through the field today. It's very wet. Let's talk about supplements. You're on the carnivore diet. If you're like me, you're eating mostly red meat. Me, I actually eat mostly ground beef. So what supplements do we need? What supplements do we actually have to have? And now this is the one place where I diverge a little bit from what Dr. Berry says. I know. Everybody calm down. But I'm not a big fan of organ meats. And I know everyone's always saying, oh, you should eat nose to tail because that's what our ancestors did. Eat nose to tail, eat nose to tail. But if you think about it, let's say you were part of the tribe 50, 60,000 years ago. And you guys took down, a great big animal, a mastodon or whatever. If you look at the amount of, the red meat with the associated fat versus, one liver, one heart, one brain. I'm not going to eat that crap anyway. But I'm guessing you had to be a privileged member of the tribe to get to eat. A chunk of the liver or a chunk of the heart, because there's not very much heart and liver to go around. And most of that stuff, I suspect they probably fed to their dogs or whatever other animals they had around camp. Most everybody else got great big chunks of meat. And we're still here on the planet as a species. So those great big chunks of meat probably did us quite well. And I also think, like Kelly Hogan's story, because she was a school teacher, the first 7 or 8 or 9 years of her journey, she basically lived on McDonald's hamburger patties. Now I get the fat bit. Sometimes, because I like my burger meat crispy, sometimes a little bit too much of the fat renders out of it. So I end up adding a little butter back to it. And if a roast that I buy doesn't look like it has quite the amount of fat that I like, after I'm done with that, I'll melt a little butter over top of that to bring the fat content back up. But as far as supplements that we absolutely have to have on the carnivore diet, I don't believe there are any. Now, if I'm feeling a little off, I've got a bottle of the Lugol's 2% solution iodine in my kitchen stuff. And if I'm feeling a little off, about once every other week or so, I'll put a drop or two of that into my food. And I do supplement my electrolytes with Keto Chow's daily minerals, but I don't use it daily. I put a little quarter cap full over my food maybe a couple of times a week. Now if I know I'm going to be out in the hot sun doing a lot of stuff, I'll take a little bit more. But I don't think we need any. Now, as I've always said on this channel, if you're doing something and you're getting results from it, there is no reason to change what you're doing. But to think you have to go out, and let's say you just can't stomach liver. Number one, I don't really think you need it. Now, if you start having problems, you might try eating a little liver just to see if you're lacking in a vitamin of some sort. But on a carnivore diet, I don't think you will be. But to go out and spend money, your hard-earned money, on a supplement, especially, there's a few companies out there that basically take liver, grind it up, and put it in a capsule. I thought about doing that when I first started this diet, this way of eating, this lifestyle. And then I saw the cost that they're charging for those supplements. I just couldn't do it. I said, well, if it comes to that, it comes to that, but I'm going to try just eating the meat first. And well, I'm almost 7 months in, and I'd say I've made adequate improvement over these 7 months, that I don't need to go out and spend my hard-earned money on supplements. And I strongly suspect, because, other than a few Amazon links and a little channel membership, I don't really have anything to sell you. I'm not trying to get rich off of you. But I suspect, now not all of them, but a great deal of the people that are pushing some kind of a supplement, they're probably making pretty good bank on that supplement. So, like I said, you can do your own research, but to me what makes sense ancestrally is very limited few of the tribe would get to take a bite of that liver from that great big animal they just took down. Most people would have just gotten the meat and the fat. And we're still here. We're still on the planet. We're still doing fairly well. Well, those of us who are eating carnivore are doing fairly well. Not so sure about the rest of them. But I had a couple other interesting little things I want to talk about real quick. I watched Ready Set Keto's video this morning talking about the difference between carnivore and keto and which one's better. And they agreed, after they went through all the markers of what they were judging them by, carnivore was better than keto for them. However, they also don't like being just carnivore. And they suspect that they probably wouldn't be able to stick to it on a consistent long-term basis. And that's the real key, folks. You don't need to figure out what the best diet is overall. The thing you need to look at, which is the point they hit on, is you need to find the diet within the proper human diet spectrum, whether it be lion diet, carnivore, ketovore, keto, low carb, whatever that diet is within the proper human spectrum that you think you can live with, that you can stick to it. You know, I've mentioned this several times in the video, and it comes into not in this video, but in other videos. And it certainly comes into play on this topic. I have one of my commenters. I wish I would have remembered to look up her name, but pretty much every meal, she has just a little bite of dark chocolate for dessert. Is dark chocolate carnivore? Nope. Is dark chocolate good for you? Nope. But it keeps her within plan the other 99.9% of the time. So if that keeping, if keeping that one little bite or two of something that you really love is going to keep you on plan the rest of the day, I say go for it. There's no reason to change it. Here comes another loud one. Oh, no, that's the actual school bus. So, don't listen to all the gurus out there. Don't even listen to me. Take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own research. Do your own N=1 experiment on yourself. Try something, see if it works for you. And then when you've found your proper human diet that works for you, now just ask yourself, okay, now the truck's going to be loud. Hang on a second. Once you found the proper human diet that works for you, ask yourself, is this something I can keep doing? Can I stick with this for the rest of my life if necessary, for optimum health? Now, me personally, I believe everybody should just be straight up carnivore, but I know a lot of people, in fact, I believe a lot of people should just be straight up lion diet. Just beef, salt, and water. But I know that's not realistic for a lot of people. And I have to say I am looking forward to the day I make my goal, which is 160 pounds, by the way. I suspect 145 to 155 is where my optimal weight is. But when I get to 160, the very first thing I'm adding back is bacon. I love bacon. I miss bacon. But that's not to say I don't love my ground beef, because I do. And my roasts. And my stew meat. I like it all. Now there was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I can't think of what it is right now. So I'm going to say cue the music.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east, beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel. Born is the King. Born is the King. Born is the King of Israel.
Okay, cut the music. Thank you. I remember the other thing I wanted to talk about. I had a commenter came on to my Why is Eat Less Move More video thing, and just had to chime in that, well, Eat Less Move More still work for the 40% of the population that hasn't already screwed up their metabolism. As I made quite plain in that video, eat less, move more has never worked, will never work. And of course, my only response to him was, it's interesting, where did you get that 40% number? Because now I always say 85%, because one study or paper that I read said 84%, the other one said 86%. So I split the difference and say 85%. Where are you getting these 40% from when 85% of the U.S. population shows at least one of the 5 markers of metabolic syndrome? Something doesn't add up there. And yes, for a short while, eat less, move more might actually work. But remember, every time you eat less, your metabolism slows down. And it's a snowball effect. But what I say about supplements comes down to this. Beef. Beef is my supplement. The associated fat that comes on beef is my supplement. And I'm doing okay. It might be different for you. I don't know. But for me, as of right now, except for those couple little things that I talked about, I don't need supplements. I don't use supplements. So you'll have to make up your own mind on this, folks. I know this is going to be kind of a short video, but that's okay. I had a big video on Monday and another one on Tuesday. Today's a good day to take a little break. It's been raining all day. I already got up early, got my laundry done. So I've had enough. This is going to be a good little break. I think I did somewhere between 1.75 miles and 2 miles there. But I'll let you know in here somewhere how much I actually did. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to be 1% better. And I will get out. Someday I'm going to learn how to talk. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.